This is the behind the scenes of me trying to set up before doing a podcast. I'm a mess. I don't know if you can hear me. I have this mic on. Oh, here's what I want to test. What's up? Good morning. How are you? I am Korean, so I speak very loud. I also have a microphone on. Can I ask you this? Is this too loud? And is my voice vibrating? Is it distorted? Is it hurting your ears? What do you guys, if you could type something in the chat, let me know if this is too loud. I try to keep this way down here because I usually scream. Explore in days. My site's going, guys. It's really bad. Thank you. So I'm all good and clear. Okay, today we're going to talk about some things that we may want to give up. Okay, 1 second. Let me hit record here. Me in my little workshop garage, trying to create a conversation, trying to create a dialogue. I don't know if I'm being helpful or not. Okay. Here are some things that maybe it's time to give up. And I say this because I don't know if we wake up in the mornings and ask ourselves, what do I need to give up today? I didn't say, do I need to give up today? I'm saying, what do I need to give up today? I think a lot of people, or most people, think about being productive. We think about the past a lot. We think about the future a lot, but we rarely think about what we need to give up so that our lives can just be healthier, so we can focus on other things. So here are just a few things that you may want to think about giving up. I should start with saying the first thing you should give up is washing your hair at night, because when you go to bed with your hair wet, you wake up with what I call Asian flathead. I don't know about you, but my hair in the morning is always jacked because I shower at night. I'm a night shower, not a morning shower, and so my hair's wet, and if it's relatively short, it sticks straight up. Anyway, sorry, that wasn't one of the things. I was just looking at myself because I'm also doing an Instagram live, and I'm noticing that the back of my hair looks like a bird's nest, and it's kind of embarrassing, but I feel like I just don't have the energy anymore. I'm 48. This is me. Okay. Number one, old dreams that no longer are honest to you. I think this is important and something to consider. We all have dreams, of course. Many of us are holding on to dreams that are not honest to us today, right? So let me give you an example. One of my dreams growing up was to be a screenwriter. I went to film school, did screenwriting for 10 years. It was really lonely in coffee shops, thinking of clever dialogue and act breaks and all that. And so that was an old dream. If I today decided to pursue that, unless it was honest to me, it would be chasing an old blueprint, right? And so what dreams do you still carry that are old? So today I write books. Now if I suddenly, and this is why you have to see if it comes from an honest place, if I suddenly fall back in love with screenwriting, that's okay, right? That's not old, right? That's it's an old activity that I'm pursuing, but you got to really get honest with yourself. Are the dreams that you're pursuing today really honest? Are they honest to you today? Because we change, we evolve, we get interested in other things. A lot of times we hold on to old dreams just because of ego, because we feel like if we accomplish that, and we don't even want that anymore, but if we accomplish that, it means something. It means that we have, succeeded, or sometimes we hold on to things for the wrong reasons. So you may want to let go of old dreams if they're no longer honest to you today. Okay. I'm trying to sip my coffee really quietly because I got a complaint that someone said when you do your podcast, please don't slurp your coffee. And I'm trying to be really respectful, but I'm really bad at breaking. I'm really bad at listening to people. So here I am again with my coffee, just trying to do it very discreetly. Um, Number two, pants that don't fit. I'm not trying to be funny, I'm being serious. So I don't know about you, but I used to wear a 32 size waist, and for years I know that I'm a 33 because that shit's tight. And every time I go to the restaurant, I have to reach down and unbutton the top button because I get bloated all the time. And I would fight it. I would say I'm not buying a 33, I'm a 32 waist. For years, a 32 waist, 32 waist. And then it was just about a year ago, I said, you know what? I've accepted I'm a 33 waist. I'm sick of wearing pants that don't fit. Life is too short. I can't breathe. And then like when I'm eating at restaurants, it's embarrassing because I forget to button my pants back up and I stand up and my pants are unbuttoned. And so let go of pants that don't fit. Or maybe it's not even that. Maybe they're just, pants that you feel like you should wear because they were expensive, or a lot of people will buy a size that they want to fit into, but they're not really there yet. And so they either leave it in the closet or they wear it and it's really uncomfortable. Just quit wearing shit that doesn't fit. Okay, number three, and this is maybe part of number two, underwear that doesn't make you feel sexy. I did a post a while ago about beige underwear because I don't like beige underwear, and I got ripped on social media. But I want to take ownership. It was a post where I could see why it angered people, especially women, because I said that it was a non-negotiable. The way that I wrote it was not good, in good taste, because it was kind of telling, even though it was my opinion, it was telling women they shouldn't wear beige underwear. And who am I, to say that, right? And there was that. It felt loaded, and I get it, and that's why I got a lot of pushback. But I still hold on to the beige underwear thing, in that you can wear any underwear you want, but just my opinion. Actually, you know what? Forget the beige thing. Any kind of underwear that doesn't make you feel sexy. So we have underwear that we wear holes in them from college, underwear that. Just things that we put on that don't make us feel sexy. And of course, you don't have to wear underwear. Every pair of underwear doesn't have to make you feel sexy. But generally speaking, wearing undergarments because they make you feel good, So buy yourself a new pair of underwear or some expensive underwear. All right, number 4, lopsided friendships. I talk about this a lot. And it's hard to, I gotta say, it's hard to make new friends as adults, right? Because the plug and play structure of recess and classrooms and all of that we had growing up is all gone. So as adults, where do we make friends? Usually at work, in communities like at the gym, yoga studio, that kind of thing. And then also with the pandemic in the last year, people not going outside, it's really hard to make friends. And so if you're in a friendship and it's lopsided and you find that you're doing all the, you're the one that's going 80%, you're the one that's always driving to his or her house or whatever it is, that person's always late, that person doesn't show up, doesn't call, doesn't text much, and you're chasing this person. I'm not saying to end the friendship, but pull back and see if you can recalibrate, see if you can adjust. And also don't be passive aggressive. Actually express this. If your friend says, hey, listen, you're not calling anymore, you're not being a good friend, what's going on? Tell that person, I think our friendship's a little lopsided, man, and or a woman, and I'm always calling you, so I would like to meet halfway. Express it. Sometimes if you just kind of adjust your behavior, there's a dance involved in any relationship. Just don't not talk to someone and use behavior as a way to change relationship dynamics, because that could backfire. So use both, right? So adjusting your behavior and also expressing yourself. Friendships that are lopsided, I think they just, what they do? They puncture our self-worth balloon. So it's important that you bring you to the table and your friends bring, that you guys meet halfway. So lopsided friendships, things that you may want to give up. Number 5, expectations from your parents. And I'm also going to say expectations from you or from anyone. Any expectations that are not fair to you. One example that I use when I teach is my parents were really against me buying a motorcycle, and I've had 6 now. If I don't ride, it makes me less happy. It's a joy that I have, and by listening to my parents, especially as a 48-year-old, and if I put my motorcycle away or don't ride because of my mom's fear, then I'm not living my life, I'm living her life, right? And so expectations, old blueprints, things from our parents that we are doing for them and not for us. Maybe it's time to give that up. All right. Next one, comparing yourself to everyone who has more. We don't compare ourselves to people who have less. When's the last time you said, man, that guy that's really struggling right now and has nothing and is rebuilding his life and is in a bad place, I'm comparing myself to him. No, you're usually comparing yourself to billionaires and people who have more, who have built more, have more, all of that, and then you feel less than, right? So stop comparing yourself to everyone who has more, which is hard to do, especially in the world that we live in, right? Next one, lukewarm relationships. I'm talking about intimate relationships. I'm talking about dating. I'm talking about choosing to love someone just because there's no one else, right? I'm talking about, and this is why I wrote my book, Single on Purpose. If you're not going to give it all, and listen, you may not know if the person is quote unquote the one, and that's okay. But if it's lukewarm, if it's just like, if it's just like, I don't know if I like this person. I'm just here because it was easy or convenient. Life's too short. Maybe it's time to give that up. Next one, things that feel forced. I just burped a little bit. I hope that you didn't catch that. Things that feel forced. So you got to really sit with this one because it's a feeling, right? It's not a logical thing. I mean, it can be a logical thing, but drop into your body. What in your life right now feels forced? Is it a relationship? Is it an opportunity? And you got to be really honest because does it feel forced or are you afraid? Because if you're afraid, then you shouldn't give it up and it's going to be stretch and growth. Or if it feels forced, then maybe it's not for you and you're pursuing the wrong thing. Things that feel forced, and it doesn't matter if it's a meal or a job opportunity or a relationship, life is too short for things that feel forced. This is a big one, the next one, how you think. Oh man, one of my greatest struggles, being in my head, cognitive distortions, future tripping. How many of you, well, if you're listening to my podcast, unless you're listening to this on a speaker with a bunch of friends, I shouldn't say how many of you. Let me ask you, how much time of the day do you spend thinking about the past? What I call, how much time do you spend in time machines? Thinking about the past, obsessing about the future, all the what ifs, and really not being present. You know this, you've heard this a gazillion times, and it's really hard to do. I still struggle with it. What anchors you? So for many people, it's fitness. For me, it's a little fitness. It's meditation. It's riding my motorcycle. It's hanging out with my daughter. That really keeps me present. For some people, it's food. Practice mindfulness. Drop into your body. Be super present. as an exercise. It's a muscle that you got to grow. It's not something that, we're actually kind of conditioned to, because the world we live in, we're conditioned to not be in the here and now. We're conditioned to overthink, overanalyze, be in the past or the future. Being present and still is very hard. It's like swimming upriver, right? So maybe it's time to give up living in your head / how you think. Next one, current lenses. I know it sounds a little abstract. I'm not talking about your prescription glasses. I don't want you to crash your car. I want you to be able to read. Your current lenses, meaning how you see the world. I think there's nothing that will stunt your growth faster than being closed and narrow and not seeing other perspectives. When you hear someone's story, even if it goes against everything you believe in, whether it's politics, religion, whatever, to hear the person's story on a human level and be open and curious, this is what's going to stretch you. And this is hard because we hold on to how we see the world, how we think the world should be, how people should be. And if it's different than the way, if someone else's lenses are different than ours and the way they see the world is different than ours, there's instant resistance, right? It means something to us if we believe that we may be wrong. I've recently had a few interviews for the secret TV thing that I'm doing with people who are definitely in the minority, people who think differently, and maybe they believe in aliens, maybe they think they're vampires, maybe whatever it is, right? They see the world very differently than the norm. And so me having conversations with these people, one of my takeaways is if I go into it open and curious, I always leave with more change, and it doesn't mean that I'm going to think the way they think or believe what they believe, but just going into it, that experience is rewarding, and it's a human process, right? If I go into it trying to change them, if I go into it holding on with two hands what I believe is right, then it's almost like the magnets flip and there's no exchange. It's just a lot of butting heads, a lot of ego. And so this happens every day, and so maybe one thing to give up so that you can grow and you can expand. I love the word expanding because it's such a visual word, is to allow your lenses to be changed. See the world through other people's eyes. It'll stretch you. Okay, next one. We're almost done. Routines that no longer serve you. Everything is built on structure and routines. Whether you're trying to change your body or build an empire or write a book, whatever you're building, routines are the building blocks, right? And so if a routine is not working, switch it up, change that shit up. A good example of this is intermittent fasting. And a lot of people are intermittent fasting these days. And when you start intermittent fasting, it's very effective, and then your body gets used to it, right? So you have to change the routine. Maybe you change the amount of time that you're fasting, or you do it in different hours or blocks. So changing routine is huge. Hey, in the bedroom, if you are in a long-term relationship, it's easy to fall into the same routine. It could almost be like colored by numbers. Okay, we start here, then we do this. Oh shit. Sorry. There's noises all over my garage. There's parrots. There's noise. The blender. It's a whole factory in here. Anyway, so routine. So in the bedroom is an example of routines that need to be switched up, or things can get kind of stale, and this. So we naturally default to comfort. So switching up routines helps us stretch. Okay. And the last one is, I'm guilty of this, checking your Instagram or social media every day. this is something you may want to give up. I do this all the time too. Getting obsessed with following, getting obsessed with what people are saying about you, all of that, it's a very slippery tunnel, and it can drain you. It could actually be what keeps you in your head, right? And listen, it's and I know we say, oh, it's the internet, and they're just profile pics and people hiding behind their phones. Yeah, but there's real people behind those profiles, you know, and I think sometimes we minimize how much comments hurt us and how affected we are if someone says, you know, you look funny, or you're not talented, or you're whatever it is that, you know, all the trolls on the internet saying what they're going to say. Disengage in that. Try to stay at a higher frequency. And again, this is a practice, and anything that pulls you down, and internet trolls can be one of them, it's going to get you to, it's going to create anxiety, and it's going to ruin your day, and it's going to get you to not thrive and flourish. Anyway, so those are some of the things that it is time, maybe it's time to give up. I want to drop something in here before we leave. And I don't know if you know, I have something called the Lab, and we've got about 20-something live Zoom classes running a week, and I want to give you a discount code. I love dropping little codes in my content like they are little golden tickets. The discount code is join us, it's case sensitive, all lowercase, join us, one word, and you could take unlimited live classes, and you could get in for basically drop-in fee, which is $20. And we have everything from codependency to trauma to, we have a new divorce recovery class. We have tapping coming, not tap dancing, tapping. We have astrology, we have tarot card readings. It's super fun. And now we also have a social hour. So come ride with us. Just go to tatlab.app, and the discount code is join us. See you in the lab. Be well.